Welcome on in here to Sports Memo Today, a Tuesday edition, which means we got your $2 Tuesday action. And I got two of the guys joining me here today from our $2 Tuesday slate over at sportsmemo.com. And every Tuesday, not only can you get the $2 plays, we're going to have JM Sports, a.k.a. my man Jeff Michaels, joining us. He's got a 5-star play, a Mountain West Madness play that's up. You can grab Pavlos, Laguretos, and his UEFA Monster $2 best bet. And you can also grab Rob Vinceletti's for just $5. It's our gift to you each and every Tuesday here at Sports Memo. Happy to be with you. I'm your host, Dan Alexander. We got another week in the saddle for you folks. And as I alluded to, two great guests here as we bring you actionable information in 30 minutes or less. So nothing to it but to do it. Let's get to it and welcome in our first guest for today. It's my man, Jeff Michaels. You can find him sm.buzz/JMS. And Jeff, always a pleasure when we have you on, man. How you been since we were talking last, brother?
I can't complain. Exciting Super Bowl, maybe for one of us than the other, but hey, that was the last time I was on. So it's been a while, but been running good. Can't complain.
It was a heck of a football game regardless. So, yeah, it was the last time. I needed a week off from you after we had those in between. So we're happy to have you back on post-Super Bowl, and it's going to be great, man. I mean, we got March Madness right around the corner. That's something you've been seeing it in all season long. The way that you approach with these spot plays, these trends and angle plays sets up perfectly when you have these huge college basketball slates. So I know you have a play you really love for the folks that they can grab for just $2 or up the ante and grab all three of our $2 best bets for just $5 over at sportsmemo.com. But you also have some freebies for the folks because, after all, Jeff Michaels is a man of the people. So let's take a look at this first one you have. It's East Carolina. They're a road favorite tonight as they're on the road taking on Tulsa, and just 5 wins on the year for Tulsa. So it's probably not surprise that we're seeing this road spot lay in the chalk. When you look at the records alone, this number seems a little bit short. Even just, the most basic handicapping and strategies, we're seeing around a 1.5-point favorite for East Carolina. I don't know. Looks short to me, but what do you think, Jeff? Are they trying to bait us a little bit, or is this some major value on the Pirates on the road here?
Yeah, you want to talk about trends and angles kind of approach on it. Looking at that aspect, I mean, this Tulsa team could be a blind fade for the rest of the season without even looking at their opponents. I mean, the list is absolutely endless. They're 0-7-1 against the spread in the last 8. They've lost all 8 of those. 2-14 against teams attempting 21 or more threes. They're just 3-20 against the spread on the season. They're 1-12-2, revenging a loss. 0-13 off a double-digit loss. 1-5-2 as a home dog. I even have more of them there, but I'll stop boring you with the number. I mean, everything points against this Tulsa team. So I'm right there with you that I think this line is too short. And normally, 1-2 points, you're looking to just take the money line, forget about the points. But I think in this situation, I wouldn't lay the extra juice. I mean, I think it's worth laying the points. I don't think the line's really in question. You got East Carolina covered 2 out of the last 3 games, and they just beat this Tulsa team by double digits, in January in the last meeting. Tulsa, I mean, is the worst without question in the conference on the defensive side of the ball, and their offense isn't really much better. They're last in the conference in effective field goal percentage allowed, turnovers forced, defensive rebounds, 3-point percentage, 2-point percentage, block percentage, and steal percentage. So they're not forcing turnovers, they're not getting the rebounds, and they're not stopping the shots. So everything's pointing against this Tulsa team tonight. I like East Carolina, and you can even lay the 1.5.
Lay the spot potentially as you're looking at East Carolina as everything lining up against them there. That's what kind of makes me scratch my head, but I guess it's just the road, going on the road, a little bit of a treacherous schedule coming up. So definitely seems short to me. That's one I'm backing alongside my guy, Jeff Michaels. And it's not just plays for tonight. You have a little bit of a future play. Let's take a look at the SEC as Texas A&M They've been running hot, man. It's a 5-game win streak for the Aggies. They're in second now in the SEC, right behind Alabama, who has been impressive in their own right. But you think there might be this second team nipping at the heels of Bama there. So what do you think here in the SEC? You think a case to be made for the Aggies? I'll turn the mic over to you.
Yeah, I think just quickly back to the last game that we were talking about, I think one of the major differences is the fact that there isn't much to play for in that game. And that's one of the biggest differences between what you got going there and what we got going here. Texas A&M plus 550 right now to win the SEC. And one of the reasons that it really stands out to me is Texas A&M has their fate in their hands. If they win out, they win the SEC in the regular season, seeing as they close out the year against Alabama. So there's no way, obviously, for both of these teams to close out the year undefeated with 4 games left. And having it in their control, I think, is a big factor. Texas A&M has a tough game tonight against Tennessee, but they do have that game at home on their court. And Tennessee has struggled. Tennessee's lost 3 of their last 5. They had 2 nice wins, one of them against this Alabama team. They were both on their home court. They've struggled on the road, so I think Texas A&M really has a shot tonight. And then they get Alabama in the last game of the season at home, which potentially could be for the conference. But even before that, Alabama has to get through Arkansas and Auburn first in back-to-back games. So neither one of them exactly has an easy schedule, but the fact that Texas A&M has their fate in their hands, and like you mentioned, they actually have the longest active the longest active win streak in the SEC, tied with Vanderbilt of all teams at 5 straight. But having the fate in their own hands and the way that this Texas A&M team is playing, I really like this. And if they win tonight, I don't think that there's a question that this makes a premium play on my card. So get Tennessee out of the way and there's a real shot, but get Tennessee out of the way and there's definitely going to be a fluctuation in this line. So get it while you can, I think, at plus 550.
Yeah, I think exactly what you're saying. If the win happens tonight, this number definitely drops. So get ahead of it now, maybe a half unit play, however you're going to attack it, but definitely worth a look. Looking for them to stay hot. Well, they've been hot. Let's keep them rolling. Maybe win the SEC outright. So Jeff, when people head on over to your page, grab that $2 play. You have anything you're eyeing for this weekend, anything locked and loaded? And as we move past football season, unless you're doing stuff in the XFL, getting trends and angles for that, what can people expect from you moving forward here over the next few months?
Yeah, not quite the XFL, but my dad and I have actually already started on baseball, getting a lot of trends and angles going for that. And I'm obviously a big baseball guy, so looking forward to that. You'll definitely see some futures from me before the season gets going in the MLB. But yeah, 5% play in college basketball tonight on a 10-2, 5% run. So definitely been hot there and looking to get back into the NBA action as we roll into the quote unquote second half of the season, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, we get a little NBA respite, but Jeff Michaels will be ready to fire when it comes back later this week. Make sure you grab that 5-star play loaded right now. As he said, 10-2 run. And when you grab that, you'll also get a 5-star play, the NBA, a total play. Little look ahead for Rob Vincelletti. And then Pavlos Laguretos, he's got his UEFA play, just $2. All 3 of them you can get. Save yourself some cash. $5 get you all 3. Over at Wager Talk, Rob Vino is our $2 Tuesday handicapper, so you can grab that. He's got a premier best bet in college basketball from our man Rob Vino. That's $2, wagertalk.com. Aforementioned, the man that very often on our stoppage time show on Wager Talk TV lets people know I don't care who wins. We just want to cash the tickets. It's Pavlos Laguretos, sm.buzz/PL. Pavlos, always love seeing the beard on the show here. How's it been, man?
It's been going great. Soccer has been really profitable so far in the season, and I keep saying this in stoppage time as well. It doesn't matter the league, and all the major sports books they offer markets in these obscure leagues where I tend to make a lot of money actually on, and I do have my 10% play is in the Europa League, and I'm going to have more plays in the Europa Conference League. So it's these obscure, leagues where there's a lot of value, and often bettors, they tend to overlook that. But money is money and goes in the same pocket. So, it's quite profitable.
Yeah, the other show that I host, Wager Talk Extra, we remind people each week that no matter what you're cashing on, that money's going to spend the exact same, whether you're talking about UEFA, whether you're talking about MLS, or this first league you want to take a look at, Europa. You got a Thursday prop play, and there's a lot of T's and Y's and L's in this first name. I know how to pronounce Sporting, but who are they facing off against on Thursday, and what are we betting in this one, Pavlos?
They're facing the Danish side of Midtjylland. So this is actually one of those matches where it's a trap. Now, everybody's going to say, if you don't really know the leagues and if you don't know the teams, Sporting, of course, are a much bigger name, and they have a lot of experience playing at the stage. However, this match is a trap. Now, there's a lot of things you can say in favor of Sporting and why you want to fade Midtjylland here. However, I believe this is going to be one of the trickiest matches to predict in the Europa League slate on Thursday. And there's several reasons for that. Now, one of the reasons is that Midtjylland, yes, their league has been inactive for the past 3 months. They recently just played their first match after 3 months of inactivity due to the winter break. So there's that. There's a little bit of rust. However, they did win by 4-0 in that league match. Now, in the previous match against Sporting, they were playing on the road in Portugal, and they still managed to score. They scored the first goal, and they were actually on track to win that match. But Sporting, they pulled even at the 94th minute. But it was a lopsided match, to be honest. I think Sporting should have won that match. But now the reality is that after that 1-1 draw in the first leg, the second leg is played in Denmark, and now Midtjylland, they have the home advantage, and they've been really dangerous at home. They're traditionally this season they're not doing a very good job in the domestic league. However, they've played in the Europa League and the Champions League sometimes, so they do have a lot of experience playing at this stage. Now, if you remember earlier in the season, they were in a Europa League group along with Sturm Graz, Feyenoord, who are a Dutch team who are very, very good actually, and Lazio. From Italy. Now, Lazio, they're a top 5 team in Italy, and they lost 5-1 to Midtjylland in this venue. So Midtjylland, they scored 2+ goals in all 3 group stage matches, and I expect them to score against Sporting. Now, can Sporting win? Yes, they can, but I'm not going to bet them on -125, and it keeps going lower. So I like both teams to score. Don't care who wins. I think there's going to be at least a goal from Midtjylland, at least a goal from Sporting. This is one of my signature moves. I don't care who wins in matches like this. I just take the both teams to score and move on to the next one.
We had the front office working on the don't care who wins t-shirts with the silhouette of the beard and the coiffed hair coming to you soon here. So we're looking at both teams to score, kick back. Let's get a tie game and then see what happens in that. -115 if you shop around is what you can get that play at. Well, let's stick here in the Europa League. There's a fixture going on Thursday as well in Monaco and Leverkusen, and as they're facing off, you're kind of looking at the side, you're looking at the tie, and you're thinking, hey, maybe there's a different way to attack this game, get some extra plus money as opposed to just doing your traditional wagers. So how are you going to be betting this one, and how do you suggest the viewers do as well?
Okay, this is another one of the matches that I consider as traps. Now, there's a lot of good things you can say in favor of Monaco, a lot of bad things you can say for Leverkusen. I'm going to quickly state both. Monaco, they've been having a really stable season so far, and especially after the winter break, they've been really good. However, I'm not trying to take anything away from, their sign or whatever, or their form, because they are in very, very good form right now. However, most of these results, they came against teams who are fighting to avoid relegation. They're teams from the bottom half and actually teams from the bottom third of the league table. So, and they played a couple of teams twice. So take those results with a grain of salt. And but overall, I have to say that they're having a really, really stable season. And they paid a lot of money to make some transfers last season and over the summer, and they're now paying out. So this team is gelled, and they're playing really good now. Why am I going against them? I'm going against them because of the price. Now, Leverkusen, I've been tracking this team since the start of the season. I believe that there's a lot of potential in that squad. However, we haven't seen that so far in the season. There's several reasons for that. The first and main reason is the fact that their key player, Florian Wirtz, who is by far the best player in that squad, and their playmaker, was injured last season. I think he tore his ACL, which is a really, really bad injury for a soccer player, or any athlete actually. So he stayed out of the matches for many months, and he only just started playing again after almost 1 year after his injury. So he's slowly getting up to speed, but he's getting minutes and he's getting starts. He's there in the starting lineups in several matches. So he's picking up speed, and their other good player, the striker, the Czech guy, Patrick Schick. Now he was a beast in the Euros and the Europa Nations League, but this season he's been really quiet. He had some injuries, he had some confidence issues. But where I'm going with this is that this Leverkusen side had a lot of problems to start the season, both on the pitch and off the pitch, both injuries and psychological problems, but most of them, they're resolved right now. So they really have no excuses. Now, if you look at the standings in the Bundesliga where they're playing, they were used to playing, contesting those top 4 spots that grant a ticket to the Champions League next season. But this season, they're sitting at the 10th spot with 27 points, already 13 points behind the top 4 spots. So of course, they're going to fight for it. They're going to fight to climb the standings. But I think their best chance to play Champions League football next season, or soccer, I should say, is to win the Europa League. And if they can somehow get through this round against Monaco, where they lost the first leg at home by 3-2, I think they're going to have a much better second half in the season overall. So the price on Bayer Leverkusen, again, they lost the first leg at home, and now they play on the road. They have to at least win this one. So I'm going to take Bayer Leverkusen to qualify at plus 340. I think that's a massive price. Again, if you look at Bayer Leverkusen, lost 4 of the last 5, but they're a team that they're much better than the recent form suggests, and their overall presence in the season suggests. So I think they're going to be winners in the second half of the season, and I think this is one of the big opportunities. Don't go crazy on it, just a small stake bet. But I think the plus 3, I think it's gone up to plus 340 now. On Leverkusen to qualify is just a golden nugget of value. So that's where I'm going with this one. Bayer Leverkusen to qualify at plus 330.
Yeah, and kind of similar to the second play that we had from Jeff Michaels, a play that if they do end up getting the win here coming on Thursday, you're looking at a price that is not going to be there then. So as he said, if the bankroll can allow for it, definitely worth a sprinkle. Pavlos, one of our $2 Tuesday handicappers. I know you love this UEFA play that you have up currently. When people head on over to your page to grab that, and also grab Vincelotti and JM Sports' play for just $5. sm.buzz/PL. What other stuff are they going to find? Do you do anything for the MLS, as that's right around the corner? And what can people expect from you over the next few weeks here?
Yeah, I'm going to be loading some MLS futures in the next coming days, because I'm still not done dissecting, all the transfers and stuff like that. But I do have 2 plays for the Champions League tonight on Tuesday. I'm going to have 1 more for Wednesday. These are all going to be loaded after this show. And of course, you can expect a massive Thursday with this 10% play in the Europa League. And I'm going to have at least 2 best bets, because I've got the angle on these teams. I know them inside and out, and there's a lot of value to be taking advantage. And Thursday in, Thursday out, we win in this league. So we're going to keep on going.
That's Pavlos Laguretos, and that's going to do it for us here on Sports Memo Today. Huge thanks to Jeff Michaels and Pavlos as well. I'm your host, Dan Alexander. All we ask you to do, if you enjoy the show, hit that like button. Make sure you hit subscribe so you never miss any of the great shows here at Sports Memo TV and Wager Talk TV. And we'll be right back here on Thursday. We got an all-Matt edition coming your way. Matt Josephs and Moneyline Matt Kowalis going to be my guests on Thursday. Looking forward to some UFC action, some college basketball action. What are we going to get from the guys? Tune in, and you'll find out then, only on Sports Memo Today.